Hi, let us start looking into history's chapter 7, which is freedom movement. So far you have learned that in 1857 there was the first war of independence that took place, which is also called as the Sepoy Mutiny. Although this was not a great success, it was a failure, but at least Indians now understood the importance of being united. ನಾವು ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಒಪ್ಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹಿಯರ್ it resulted in the rise of nationalism. So 1858 it ends the interference of East India Company. So far ಏನಾಗ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ರೂಲಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇ ಸರಿ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಾರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ the rule of the Queen of England will start, and they will bring policies called the Policy of Association in 1861, saying that Indians can also now take part in the legislation process. That means Indians can work in courts, Indians can become police officers, Indians will be represented in the army, and they will have good posts like British in the government. As a result of all of this, the educated youth started sharing the idea of nationalism. So, what happened now? British also started giving good education to the Indian people in all the institutions and colleges. Now, Indians started learning more things which led them to understand the importance of nationalism. So now the educated people started teaching others what is the importance, why we should all be aware of what is happening, and why it is not right for the British government to be ruling India because they're colonizing us and it's wrong. Indian National Congress is the institutional expression of all this. So now that people have gathered a lot of education about what is happening around them, they wanted to form a institution as such, or like a body or an organization where they could share ideologies and come up with new morals and how to deal with the colonization of the British. The Indian National Congress. First War of Indian Independence in 1857 led to the development of political awakening in India. Many educated youth provided leadership to various associations which had nationalistic outlooks. So some of these associations were formed. So far yellow associations gal irlilla where people could gather and discuss about various things that is affecting them. ಆ ಥರ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದ ಹಿಂದೂ ಮೇಳ, ಆಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಪೂನಾ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಸಭಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಶುರು ಆಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಅಪೋಸ್ಡ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ್ಲಿಂದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ದೇರ್ ವ್ಯೂಸ್. ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೂ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರೈಟರ್ಸ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದ್ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಅಮೃತ್ ಬಜಾರ್ ಪತ್ರಿಕಾ, and this was started by Motilal Ghosh, and the second one is Som Prakash. This was started by Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. So these are some of the newspapers that were started, and people started reading. So newspaper ಓದ್ದಾಗ್ಲಿಂದ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರುವಾಯಿತು ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದೆಮ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಲಿಟ್ಟಿನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ನಾಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ವರ್ನಾಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಏನಂದರೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಲೌ ಎನಿ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿ ಜರ್ನಲ್ಸ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ bad things or wrong things against the British government. ಸೊ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ವರ್ನಾಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಲೌ ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಟು ಒಪೋಸ್ ದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. All this development inevitably led to the establishment of Indian National Congress. So ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ the Indian National Congress was formed. The Indian National Congress, which changed the direction of Indian political history, was born in a national convention held at Bombay in 1885. And W.C. Banerjee was the first president. A.O. Hume played an important role in the formation of Indian National Congress. So if you can see, this is the picture from 1885, the first communion of the Indian National Congress. So idra president W.C. Banerjee and A.O. Hume, Yuru, is called he is called the father of Indian National Congress. ಸೊ ಇವರೊಬ್ರು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್, ಅವ್ರು ಆದ್ರೂ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Hume was a retired British civil servant and met political leaders in cities like Madras, Bombay, and Calcutta and discussed various issues of public importance. So, Indian National Congress started spreading. One city in the Bere city, people started understanding what is Indian National Congress and started discussing how it is important for everybody. As a result of these deliberations, the Congress declared that achieving national unity as its primary aim during its first national convention. So, first national convention ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, they will decide their goal, objective. ಯಾಕೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು, ನಾವು ಏನು ಸಾಧಿಸಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟಿ, ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಏಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದ್ರ ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ದು. It thrived to achieve unity among the diverse cultural and social parts of India. So India has a lot of religions residing in it. India is called secular. Secular andrenu? There are a lot of religions. There are Hindus, there are Muslims, there are Sikhs, there are Christians. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದೇ ನೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಾಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಅವರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. The leaders of this period also had the commitment to achieve it. Newspapers were published in vernacular languages and enabled discussions on various social issues. So, ಹೇಗೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಈ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ನ? ಆಗ ಟಿ ವಿಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಅವ್ರು ಇರಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ another way was newspapers and journals. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಓದದೇ ಇದ್ರು, ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ರೀಚ್ಡ್ ಅ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಸೊ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಐ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ಡ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್, ಸೋಮ್ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಮೃತ್ ಬಜಾರ್ ಪತ್ರಿಕಾ. ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್. ಜನರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾದರೆ ತಾನೇ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾದರೆ ಅವರು ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸೇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಈ ಥರ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೆಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಸ್ ಅ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್, ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ರೀಚ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್. The British employed divide and rule policy to break the unity emerging among the people with the development of nationalism. So British will start realizing, or ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, that because of the Indian National Congress, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯುನೈಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೂಲ್ ಟು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ದ ಯೂನಿಟಿ ಅಮಂಗ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್. They started implementing strategies to cause disunity among Hindus and Muslims. So as you all know, ಇಂಡಿಯಾನಲ್ಲಿ Hindus and Muslims population ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅವು ವಾಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಹಿಂದೂಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಮಧ್ಯ ಫೈಟ್ಸ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಮಧ್ಯ ಅಸಮಾಧಾನ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಟು ಗೇನ್ ಪವರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಯುನೈಟ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋ ಥರ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೂಲ್ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ನ ತರ್ತಾರೆ. During the later part of 19th century, difference of opinions arose in Indian National Congress. Due to their differences in ideology, beliefs, and execution styles, they are identified as moderates and radicals. ಸೊ ಈ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೂಲ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ತರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇದು ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ತರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಲಜೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೂ ಕೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಸೊ ಈ it will separate the Indian National Congress into two sectors. One is moderates and one is radicals. ಈಗ moderates and radicals ಮಧ್ಯ ಏನೇನು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. So let us first learn about moderates. Who are moderates and what are their ideologies? Traditionally, the first 20 years of Indian National Congress is called the Age of Moderates. ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು 1885 ಇಂದ. 1885 ಇಂದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ 20 ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್, ಅಂದರೆ 1905ವರೆಗೂ, 1885 ಇಂದ 1905ವರೆಗೂ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಏಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸ್. W.C. Banerjee, M.G. Ranade, Surendranath Banerjee, Dadabhai Nauroji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale were the major moderate leaders. ಸೊ ಈ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ? W.C. Banerjee, M.G. Ranade, ಗೋಪಾಲ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಗೋಖಲೆ, ದಾದಾಬಾಯಿ ನವರೋಜಿ. ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು 3 ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Moderates had faith in the rule of British and judiciary. ಸೊ ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಲಜಿ ಏನು? ದೇ ಥಾಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ರೂಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನೂ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗುಡ್. ದೇ ಥಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಗುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಆರ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅವ್ರು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು? ನಮಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಥಾಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ರೂಲ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದೆಮ್, ಬಟ್ it is being a good factor in India anta. They used to table their demands with the framework of the constitution through prayers and requests. So now moderates had accepted that British are ruling us, and they started to ask for demands. ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಈ ಏರಿಯಾನಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ಸಿಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಏರಿಯಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಟು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಥ್ರೂ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ they were nice to the British, and this worked out for them. They tried to bring in political awareness among people. They organized public meetings, discussed various burning issues, and submitted memorandums to the government. So they were very calm, they were composed, they did not have any aggressive behavior. And they submitted memorandums demanding cutting down military expenditure, development of Indian industries, providing good education and programs for poverty alleviation. So ಇವ್ರು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ ಕೆಲವು ಮೆಮೊರಂಡಮ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟಿಂಗ್ ಡೌನ್ ದ ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಥಾಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮನಿ ಆನ್ ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ, ವಿಚ್ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಸೆಡ್ ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಸೊ ಆಗ ದೇ ಪುಟ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಗುಡ್ಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಷೀನರಿ ಕೂಡ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಮಷೀನ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಮೋರ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಸನ್ಸ್. ಆಗ ಇಂಡಿಯಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಹೆವಿ ಮಷೀನರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಏನೂ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನು. ಸೊ these moderates thought that bringing in some amount of industries into India would bring up the economy and would employ a lot of people. Providing good education and programs for poverty alleviation. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ there was a lot of poverty. ಅಂದರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ರಿಚ್ ಜನ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. there was a lot of daily wage workers, etc. ಸೊ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗುಡ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. Moderates were the first to study the ill effects of the British rule of India. So, moderates realized that British rule is not really that great. Our bad effects on India ನ ನೋಡಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. They explained the drain of resources of India into England through scientific statistics and called it the drain theory. ಸೊ ಡ್ರೇನ್ ಥಿಯರಿನ ಮಾಡರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಮೊದಲು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ರಿಯಲೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೈಸಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಬೇಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಿಂದ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅವರು, ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎನಿಬಡೀಸ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ಲಿಸನ್ ಟು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಟು ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್. And the moderates started quantizing all of this and with statistics, scientific statistics, and they called it drain theory. By increasing the import and reducing the export, the British facilitated the draining out of precious Indian resources into India. So what does British do? It increases ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶನ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ತರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶನ ತರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದನ್ನ ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಕಳಿಸೋದು. ಸೊ ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬಳು ವರ್ಕರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನನ್ನ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಬಟ್ಟೆಗಳನ್ನ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ ಬಟ್ಟೆನ ನಾನು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳ್ಸೋಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಅವರು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಂಡಿಯಾಯಿಂದ ಆಚೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂದ, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ತರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. The British facilitated the draining out of Indian resources. Just like Dadabhai Nauroji, R.C. Dutt too published books explaining the draining of Indian resources into England. The period of moderates is called as the age of liberal nationalism. The period between CE 1885 and 1905 is called as the age of moderates. So what is age of moderates? 1885 to 1905. Now let us take a look at the radicals. So who are the radicals? The soft stance of moderates towards the British made unhappy group within the Congress and to call them as political beggars. So ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, moderates did not take any aggressive reaction ಅಲ್ವಾ. They did not protest against British. Instead they went through requests and prayers to the British governments. ಏನಾದರೂ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತಿದ್ರೆ they would say please ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ನ ರ್ಯಾಡಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅವರು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ಸೆಡ್, ನೀವು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಬೆಗ್ಗರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಸೊ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ಗುಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರ ಐಡಿಯಾಲಜೀಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ who criticized the soft stance of moderates started calling them as radicals. So radicals were Aurobindo Ghosh, Bipin Chandrapal, Lala Lajpat Rai and Bal Gangadhar Tilak. So these were the main members of the radical group. So there is also a very popular phrase called Lal Bal Pal. So if you want to remember the radicals' names, you just have to remember Lal Bal Pal. Lal is Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal is Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Pal is Bipin Chandrapal. So these were the main people of radical group. They opposed the stance of British, who considered nominating the Indian members into Indian legislative assemblies as an important favor. Please collect more information on the Indian Act of 1861 and 1892. Now, let us take a look at the division of Bengal. So, the anti British sentiment was dominant in Bengal, and it was the center of anti British protests. Like ಹಿಂದೆ ಹೇಳಿದ ಥರ, there were a lot of newspapers and journals which started in Bengal itself. For example, the Amrit Bazar Patrika, which was started by Motilal Ghosh, and a lot of protests started happening in Bengal itself, and it became like the center of the anti-British protests. So, in order to suppress these developments, Lord Curzon thought of dividing Bengal in the name of administration. So, Lord Curzon will come up with an idea of dividing Bengal. And what reason does he give for the division is the reason of administration. In reality, Bengal had more concentration of Hindu and Muslim people. The census report had indicated that the east part of Bengal had more number of Muslims and west part of Bengal had more Hindus. So let's take a look at that. So, what do they say? The east part of Bengal had a lot of Muslims, and west part of Bengal had a lot of Hindus. The British divided Bengal in 1905. Please remember this date. The partition of Bengal happened in 1905. The British thought of suppressing the spirit of national freedom struggle with the division of Bengal. So, our ideology ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಿಂದೂ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂ ಮಧ್ಯ ಫೈಟ್ಸ್ ತಂದಿಟ್ರೆ it will be easier for British to get back power. And also because Bengal was like the prime center of all the protests, they will come up with the idea of dividing the Hindus and Muslims in Bengal. The division of Bengal in 1905 was opposed by Indian National Congress. So Indian National Congress will say no, you cannot divide Bengal. But still, Bengali language could unite the Hindu and Muslim communities. Raksha Bandhan, cultural festival, was held to bring in unity among Hindus and Muslims. So Raksha Bandhan was started. It is a cultural festival. It was celebrated to bring unity among Hindus and Muslims. The division of Bengal resulted in the widespread protests across the country. So, the division of Bengal Adaglinda, it will start a lot of protests in all over India. The radicals took the issue to doorsteps of common people. So, the radicals who believe that the soft stance towards British is not getting them any profit out of it. So they start going to common people and telling why the separation of Bengal is a really bad idea. They called for boycotting of foreign goods and institutions that encourage it. So what they started? They started boycotting of foreign goods. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಚೆ ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶನ ತಂದಿರೋ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು, ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಬಾಯ್ಕಾಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅಂದರೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರೋದು, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಬಾಯ್ಕಾಟಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲೇ ತಯಾರಿಸಿರೋ ಬಟ್ಟೆಗಳು, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಖಾದಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಬೇರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡಿಂದ ತಂದಿರೋ ಯಾವುದೇ ವಸ್ತುನ ನಾವು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸೋದು ನಿಲ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ರೆವೆನ್ಯೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ರೆವೆನ್ಯೂ ಆಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಆ ಐಡಿಯಾಲಜಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ನ ಬಾಯ್ಕಾಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Indians and institutions that encourage it. So any institution which is selling foreign products, ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಬಾಯ್ಕಾಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Indians were encouraged to use local goods, ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ ತಯಾರಾಗಿರೋ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು. The British government withdrew the Bengal division order in 1911. So the protests which started because of division of Bengal will turn out to be a huge success, and the government will withdraw the division of Bengal order in 1911. So protests will be happening for 6 years, 1905 to 1911, until it has been withdrawn. Tilak declared, Swaraj is my birthright, I would definitely get it back. Swaraj is independence. So he says independence is my birthright. ಸೊ ಇದು ಇದು ನಾನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗಿಂದಾನೇ ಬಂದಿರೋದು ಒಂದು ರೈಟ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾರೂ ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಕಿತ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನು ಕಿತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್, ನಮಗೆ ತಂದ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ವಾಪಸ್ಸು ಅಂತ ಬಾಲ್ ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ತಿಲಕ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Attaining complete freedom was the aim of radicals. They tried to organize the common people of India. So radicals started idealizing a lot of extreme protests, and they started to organize the common people of India and try to explain to them their ideologies. They attempted to organize people by employing religious celebrations too. So celebrations na shuru ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. This is how they started gathering people. ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನನ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ತರೋದು is through celebrations. Happiness and celebrations bring people closer. So hange they bring up this idea of celebrating things to bring people closer. They used Ganesha, Shivaji, and Durga celebrations to organize people against the British. Muslim League was born in 1906 to protect the Muslim identity. So as you know, Bengal Division 1905 nal agutte. They started dividing the Muslims and Hindus in Bengal. So to protect the Muslim identity, a Muslim League was born in 1906. Tilak published Kesari in Marathi and Maratha in English languages. So, innu awareness jasti madakke, these were the new newspapers that were born, which is nothing but Kesari, which was written in Marathi language, and Maratha, which was written in English language. He encouraged common people to protest against the British. The radical writings of Tilak galvanized the common people. So Tilak ಏನೇನು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. He started celebrations of Ganesha, Shivaji and Durga Puja to bring people closer. He started newspapers, and the common people started understanding him and supporting him. The British arrested Tilak due to these developments. So obviously British against hodre ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. They arrest Tilak due to all of his developments that he's brought about in common people, because it's not easy. Ishtu koti janana ottige taradu, it's not a small task. And if somebody is doing it and succeeding in it, adralli munde bartidare anta gottagid takshana British ಅವರು they should stop it. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಯುನೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್. ಅದನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ತಿಲಕ್. Tilak wrote a book called Geeta Rahasya in prison, which further fueled the freedom fervor. So he was such a Bal Gangadhar Tilak was freedom fighter of what level you can see here, that he is, even when he was arrested, even when he was in prison, he wrote a book called Geeta Rahasya, which was about freedom struggle. Now, the last topic of today is revolutionaries. The revolutionaries dreamed of attaining complete freedom. So they didn't want to settle. Like the moderates, they did not want to be under the British and be ruled by them. They wanted complete freedom. They wanted India to have its own government, India to have its own legislation. They believed that they can drive away the British by employing violent methods. So aggressive nature and the fight ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅವರು ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಐಡಿಯಾಲಜಿ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. They established secret associations across the country and started collecting weapons and money for an armed struggle against the British. So revolutionaries ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, obviously India was not a very rich country. There were not a lot of rich Indians or common people. So they needed some kind of funds. A funds elinda barte, they started collecting money from people for armed struggle. Andre like weapons. For example, guns. and cannons and bombs, grenades, etc. ಸೊ ಈ ವೆಪನ್ಸ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. A secret association named Lotus and Dragger was founded in England. People Aurobindo Ghosh who were in England supported the revolutionaries through this organization. So secret for organization called Lotus and Dragger was founded in England. And Aurobindo Ghosh and other people who were in England started supporting the revolutionaries through these organizations. Similarly, another revolutionary organization called Gadha in USA can be recalled here. So there was another secret organization called Gadha in United States of America. Abhinava Bharata and Anushila Samiti were the two important secret organizations in India. They used bombs and guns to achieve their goal. The government tried to suppress them by arresting them and hanging them unto death and on the charges of sedition. So to suppress all of these revolts happening against the British government, what they did was they arrested everybody who was protesting against them and started hanging them. Aurobindo Ghosh, V.D. Savarkar, Ashwini Kumar Datta, Rajanarayana Bose, Rajguru, Chakikar brothers, Vishnu Shastri, Champukar, Shamji Krishna Verma, Rasbihari Ghosh, Madam Kama, Kudiram Bose, Ramprasad Bismil, Ashwakullah Khan, Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Jatan Das are more prominent among the revolutionaries. So please remember around 5 of these names. We are trying to explain the revolutionaries. The dream of revolutionaries to bring the freedom to India quickly did not materialize completely. Still, they were the fountains of spirits to Indian freedom movement. Many of the radicals later became revolutionaries and continued their efforts. Aurobindo Ghosh was one of such leaders like this. The role of revolutionaries is important in many ways in the annals of Indian history. So the kind of changes that the revolutionaries got into India was massive. This brought a lot of understanding. So a lot of common people started understanding why people are doing this and why it is important. And you may also watch this movie called Rang De Basanti, which is in Hindi. You can watch it, and I really like the movie, and I hope you guys like it too. And it'll explain how Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, and other revolutionaries led their lives and gave up their lives for the Indian independence. So that's it for the Freedom Movement chapter 7, and we can look at chapter 8 later. Thank you.